We're now recording. Excellent. And we are going to share screen. Share screen. I'm going to share this one. Here we go. Slide in, slide in. Cool. Here we go. Okay, today we're going to talk about business directories and how you can use business directories online in order to benefit your SEO, your traffic, and improve your business online. So quick roundup of who I am. I'm Simon Dalley. I'm the founder and a director here at GrowTraffic. I've worked in marketing for almost 20 years, been working in both in-house roles and agency roles. I was the brand manager of 2 tech businesses. I was the head of marketing of 3 tech businesses, and I'm also a member of the Chartered Institute of Marketing. SEO is part of my kind of specialism, if you like. So let's just dive straight in. What are directories? So directories are they are a kind of area of information. So I'm just getting this thing out of the way. Web directories, or directories even, they're an online list, a catalog that's placed on a website. If you think about something like the Yellow Pages, an online directory essentially takes the place of a listing within the Yellow Pages. But you get a lot more opportunity to put more information about your business in an online directory. So historically, they were places that you could find information about people or businesses, and generally you find the contact information in there. These things have been going since the very start of the internet. Originally, directories were probably the key place, the key way that we found information about businesses online. This was prior to search engines really becoming as advanced as they were, or they are. And a web directory will basically include information about a business or a person or a topic, and it will be categorized in various different ways. Just trying to get to the next page. So thinking about what key elements are involved in a directory, you tend to have a profile page for a listing, which will include things like business names, contact details, a link back to the website. Often you see things like opening hours. You find that there's an opportunity to categorize it based on kind of services and products. You'll find areas for description. Often you'll be able to put a logo in there as well. Sometimes you'll find that they are industry specific, and often they are location specific. So if the generic business directories, they tend to be location specific. If they're based around a specific niche industry, you'll tend to find that they're broken out depending on the specialisms that different companies have within that industry. They're both beneficial. Those 2 different types of directories are beneficial in different ways, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So how do directories help your business to grow? So first and foremost, from a kind of people-oriented perspective, appearance in a directory increases trust. The way this happens, if you think about Yell.com, people trust the information that's contained via Yell.com, and the credibility of being associated with that kind of brand is also passed on to you. People like to do a bit of research about the businesses that they're going to work with, and it just adds that additional kind of factor when they're making a decision about using you as a business. So as many different directories, try to get in the ones that do increase the trust that somebody would have in your business by the association of being in that directory. SEO benefits as well. There's two main benefits. The first is if you've got a local business, local directories are the principal way that you develop local citations to benefit your local SEO. And citations are essentially, citation is a reference back to specific local information about your business. Tends to be the phone number, the address, and the name. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Call it PAN. But also the links that you get back from these directories benefit your website's ranking ability. So in order to rank highly in Google, you need to have an authoritative website, and you get that authority by developing more links back to your website. Directory links are a great way of doing that. Historically, we used to say that all websites should feature on a directory called DMOZ. DMOZ was essentially the original kind of directory of the internet. Shut down a few years ago now. But there are a number of very credible websites with high domain authority, but those directories on those websites can pass you back some good trust signals. And that's one of the reasons why it's really beneficial. So the top citation websites in the UK, if you want to think about some of these, and some of them may be surprising because they don't necessarily feel like they are directories in the traditional sense, but they are. So if you think about these top kind of 10 that I've selected here are the top 10 citation websites by domain authority. So these are the ones that you want to make sure that your business is listed on. So Maps at Apple, Facebook, Google, The Mirror, another great one there, Bing, Foursquare, just landed, Yell.com, but also like TomTom. It's so obvious when you think about it that if you want your business to be found locally, then you're going to want to make sure that it's on all of the websites associated with map functionality. And that's what Apple, the maps on Apple is. Also, when it refers to Google here, we are talking about Google My Business, which is Google's kind of business directory. And it also integrates and pulls data out into Google Maps as well. So when you're out and about and trying to find somewhere using your phone or however you integrate with that, however you use that, then that's where the data is going to get pulled through from. There is a blog on Grow Traffic which provides the top 50 local citation websites in the UK. It's ordered by domain authority, and I would recommend that everyone goes and has a look at this blog post at some point and tries to make sure that they've got a listing on all 50 of those. Just pick it out a few days at a time. So thinking about how you are going to optimize your listings. Now, this is just a really top level overview. There's so many different factors that you're going to want to think about when you're optimizing a listing. But let's think that you're going to look at those top 50 citation websites I've just referred to. You're going to make sure that you've got a profile or a listing on each one of those. You're also going to make sure that you've got 3 to 5 keywords in those listings as well. One thing that you could probably add to this is that you want loads of photographs on there, and you want those photographs to be taken locally, preferably, because all the little bits of meta information that are stored within within a photograph, and often you find specific location references within photographs. These will all contribute towards your SEO locally. So, you know, if you've got latitude and longitude, specific location kind of metadata in a photograph, then Google can see that, can work out if you're promoting yourself genuinely in that area compared to other people that are trying to target that area as well. You want to make the descriptions as unique as possible. So don't just, when you set up these listings, don't just copy the same bit of content. Every time you set up a new listing, we're talking here, we're talking about the top 50 citation websites. So every time you set up a new listing, you give yourself an opportunity to target different keywords. Whilst we're always going to target those top 3 to 5 target keywords, we're going to get different long tail keywords, which is going to give us different opportunities to help you kind of rank your website differently and appear in different kinds of search results. But from a local SEO perspective, the most important thing that you're going to do is you're going to make sure that your name, address, and phone number is consistent. So we call that the NAP. Before, I think I said PAN, but it's NAP. And it should appear exactly the same everywhere that you list them. So this is less of a problem than it used to be. I remember working on Google Maps about 2009, 2010, and Google Maps was a mess at this point, because what Google did was they pulled in data. They still do this now. They pull in data from a number of different data sources, and then they try to dedupe the data against itself. And if you've got things like addresses and names that are spelt slightly differently, Google essentially created duplicate records, but they were, you know, from Google's perspective, they were slightly different, so they were unique enough to justify having their own record, and it was very messy. So the 3 kind of indicators that Google have is the name, the address, and the phone number, and they should be exactly the same. So if, for example, for us, for Grow Traffic, when we refer to ourselves in these places, we generally refer to ourselves as Grow Traffic Limited, and we always use the same format for the registered address. And even when you put in the phone number down, so our 0161 number, for example, we generally put a space in between between the kind of 3 and 4 numbers in the last bit of that telephone number, and we make sure we do that consistently and the same everywhere online. So that's the most important thing about optimizing listing. But you want to be putting as much information in there as possible, basically. There's opportunities in all these listings to target things based on categorization. Often there's tags in there, so you can be associated with other things on the website. Make sure you're in the right place in that directory to best kind of benefit your business. And also, you're going to want to make sure that you're getting lots of reviews. Reviews are really important. They are ways that certainly a search engine can validate that it's a legitimate local business. Also, it gives you the opportunity to get other people to add more content to your listings, which will inevitably help you rank more. It will mean that you get more keywords, different kinds of keywords perhaps than you will put into those listings. And ultimately, it increases credibility in your brand, because if people are researching your brand, they're going to see that you've got loads of reviews, and then they're going to feel like they can trust you, like they're going to be able to click on your link, and potentially then that will help your conversion rates. And really, that is as simple as directory listings are. There's nothing kind of hard and fast about it. It's just a case of getting out there and getting them built. And I would really recommend going to the top 50 local citation websites in the UK on Grow Traffic's blog, having a look at that list. You can click through that list to go to all of the different registration pages on there. In fact, I'll show you that list now while we're here, and you can see what it is, what or where it is. I'll just not Grow Traffic, right? Just load that up now. So you just go to one of these blog posts. This one should be the one. And here it is. And you'll see that there's a list of citation sites with the domain authority. So just work your way down this list. And you'll see that if you hover over them, you'll see that they all go to the indexing page where you can then, for example, Foursquare, you can then add a listing. You can log in, add your listing. It's always worth checking as well that if you are ranking already, or not ranking, if you are listed already before you create a listing, so you're not duplicating everything that's already there. Here.com should take you to the relevant place. But there are so many websites out there. I think it's really important that you sorry, my phone's just ringing. I think it's really important that you just keep adding, you keep working your way through multiple different directories. Just give yourself a task to do a amount of directories every week, and that should help your SEO ongoing and really help you to grow your business. I think that's all I've got to say right now about citations and local business directories. Get on with it, keep going, keep your business growing, do all the stuff that we've got to do. Remember, also, I'll get shouted at if I don't say this, but remember that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can watch our podcast, you can listen to our podcast, you can watch our Facebook Lives every other Friday. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back with another one of these webinars in a few weeks. And I'm sure that anybody who is part of the GrowSkills group will get an event notification. Go. Hello. I'm just stopping recording. There we go.